Good afternoon and welcome to the Daily O. I'm Thomas Fleming. It's officially spring break. For those of you who are traveling, stay safe. But if you're staying in Stillwater, remember the library and Colvin's hours will be limited. Roll on to the Stillwater Roller Dome tonight from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. for a spring break party. Admission is $20 for games, dancing, skating, dodgeball, sumo wrestling, and more. If you're craving some green breakfast for St. Patty's Day, head over to Eskimo Joe's early for green eggs and ham, biscuits and gravy, green pancakes, and breakfast cheese fries. Doors open at 8 a.m. and breakfast will be served until 10 a.m. If you're not a morning person, don't worry, green beer will be served all day. Our first story today covers the life of one woman defined by weather. For more on that, we send it to our own David Moore.
Kim Howell's world is literally upside down.
That's my purse, and it's hooked on to something's holding it in there.
She knew weather was moving in when the winds came to her door.
It blew both glass doors in. They didn't shatter, but they blew in, and the door hit me, and it pushed me back, and then that's when the house started turning up.
As her home rolled, she was thrown while her possessions became flying debris.
Chaos? That'd be a good word for it, because everything's just falling, and I'm falling. But that, it's just a few seconds, but it seemed like an eternity.
Even efforts to protect the car did not go as planned.
Whenever I heard that it was going to storm, I pulled it around behind the house, thinking, it'd protect it from hail damage or, as much as it could without a garage. I had no idea the house would end up on top of it.
Kim is no stranger to starting over. In 2011, she lost her home to a tornado.
So what's next?
I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm ready for a third time. I don't know. I just have to look at my options and maybe pour a slab next time and instead of a little trailer.
Thanks, David. 2 Stanford students are suing the university as well as 7 other universities, claiming that these schools have admitted students after accepting bribes. According to court documents, nearly $6 million were paid, whether directly or indirectly, to college employees. The lawsuit says Stanford's admissions process was unfair and rigged. In addition, the students' complaint says the universities were, quote, negligent in failing to maintain the sanctity of the college admissions process. The Los Angeles Times reports the suit is seeking damages for any student who was rejected from any of the named universities between 2012 and 2018. Well, Maryland could become the first state in the nation to ban foam food containers and cups. Lawmakers in Maryland have passed a bill that would do just that in an effort to protect the environment and clean up waterways. Bill supporters warn at the rate the world is going, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. Environmentalists believe banning the use of polystyrene foam used in carry-out containers and cups is a step forward in cleaning up the planet. Baltimore City Delegate Brooke Learman is the primary sponsor of the legislation. The legislation, similar to what the Senate passed last week, prohibits restaurants, cafes, supermarkets, vending trucks, carts, movie theaters, K-12 schools, and colleges from selling polystyrene food containers. This also includes egg cartons, vegetable trays, and plates. Violators face a $250 fine. There would be a 1-year grace period to phase out the containers. The ban does not apply to products coming from out of state. And the Maryland Retailers Association opposed the bill. In a 2017 report, the association cites the high cost of using alternative packaging as a reason. They claim for every dollar spent on replacement alternatives, on average would cost $1.85. The increase would be passed on to customers. Consumers would spend an additional $34.9 million each year to replace the banned products. The bill's sponsor thinks lawmakers in the House and Senate will be able to reach a deal on differences in the legislation perhaps as early as next week. And finally, a Geronimo man has been arrested after allegedly shoplifting over $1,000 worth of merchandise from an Academy Sports in Edmond. The man has been charged with 1 count of grand larceny. Officials caught him pushing a blue shopping cart behind a Brahms ice cream and dairy store in Edmond. Stolen items include apparel, a stun gun and pepper spray, a pellet pistol, multiple knives, and a speaker. The man was transported to the Edmond City Jail for booking procedures. Well, that's it for today's news segment. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we'll tell you about the famous return of a TV host and one movie remake you won't want to miss.
In my mind, I was never going to walk right again. Before we were through, we had walked 23 steps. And that was my first steps of freedom. This patient is saying thank you.
What is arts and sciences?
We aren't all about the arts.
We like to think of ourselves as explorers.
From exploring the human mind
to discerning the building blocks of the universe.
We don't just read books.
We don't just sit in the classroom.
And we don't just solve problems.
We seek to give everyone a voice.
In a variety of approaches.
We tackle the big issues.
By understanding complex social structures.
And even understand the small ones.
We take passions to new heights.
But stay grounded.
We tell stories.
Of the past.
Of the present.
And work to predict the future.
We like to think with a little preparation. Some dirt under the fingernails.
And some self-analysis. You can do anything.
With nearly 100-degree plans to choose from.
Where will your arts and science degree take you?
Connect, achieve, succeed.
Welcome back to the Daily O. I'm Thomas Fleming. There's been plenty of entertainment news to happen over the past couple of days, and for everything on that, we send it to our own David Moore, who has today's edition of What's Trending.
Hey everyone, I'm David Moore, and here's What's Trending. The Jeopardy host is back at work. Tuesday was the first scheduled production day at the game show since the announcement, and Trebek was there. A spokeswoman for the show confirmed his participation in the day's taping. Jeopardy usually tapes just 2 days a week. Multiple episodes of the show are produced on a single day. When Trebek told the world about his cancer diagnosis, he promised that he would keep working. Last fall, he extended his contract through to 2022. And step aboard a flying carpet with the first full trailer for Aladdin, Disney's latest live-action remake of an animation classic. The live-action version of Disney's animated classic features actor Mina Massoud, who plays Aladdin. Naomi Scott will be Princess Jasmine, while Will Smith plays the Blue Genie. But the trailer shows that Smith's appearance changes during the movie. It appears the movie will keep some of the music from the 1992 original. That includes the song A Whole New World, which won an Oscar and a Grammy. The new Aladdin will be in theaters on May 24th, and that's what's trending. For the Daily O, I'm David Moore.
Thanks, David. Now to something local. There are many companies that are headquartered in Stillwater. One in particular is perfect just in time for your spring break trip.
Well, I'll probably start off with back in high school. I was started playing in a rock and roll band, and 1965, the Beatles had just come to the U.S. and toured, and so all of us wanted to start garage bands. Everybody was really excited about playing in a band, and so my best buddy played drums, and I played keyboards, and we got a band together, and I had a little home organ that I used, and it wasn't very loud, and he played really loud, and so I was always complaining he was playing too loud, and you couldn't hear what I was playing, and so as time went on, I was able to buy a kind of a nice portable keyboard, but I didn't have an amplifier for it. And I went to my dad and I said, you know, I've got to have an amp and something that really puts out some pretty good sound, because the drummer plays loud, you know, the guitar player plays loud, everybody's loud, and I can't hear myself. My dad's hobby was building things, and he had a wood shop, and so we went to work and just took these plans out of the book and built a speaker enclosure for it. And then I bought a used amplifier to go on top.
Steve played in bands all the time, and he was always interested in sound. And I think they had, the band had recorded at a studio in Oklahoma City, and the studio had these Altec Lansing Voice of the Theater speaker cabinets, which are real large, commercial type speaker cabinets, everything, and he thought it'd be neat to try to build a pair of those. And so I think he got the plans from somewhere, and we started off building those in his dad's basement workshop.
So here we are sitting on 200 kicker speakers, no money, and trying to figure out what to do. And so Don said, well, I've got a pickup truck. We could put one in, and I guess I'd go try to sell these things. And so that's what he did.
As Kicker pursued more avenues of marketability, new dealers and partners were made out of necessity. And this path is what catapulted Kicker's popularity. As Kicker moved year by year, it all led up to the newest facility. When Steve had the chance to upgrade Kicker's facility once again, he couldn't pass up the offer.
And it came with 21 acres, and it was an opportunity to have everything under one roof. What you're good at, what you really like to do, I think that's where you're going to be the most successful. Yeah, sure, you can probably do other things. And I know I could have done other things and probably done okay. But I think that it's worth it to not kind of settle for second best, you know.
If you want to know more, the full documentary is on our website, ocarly.com/TV. We'll take one more quick break, but when we return, we'll have everything you want to know about sports before we would depart for the weekend. Stay tuned.
Determining your future by selecting a major can be difficult.
It's okay to be undecided.
Connect with the College of Arts and Sciences, where your options are endless.
Where you can uncover your passions and achieve your goals.
Express your creativity by exploring a career in the visual and performing arts.
Investigate new discoveries to make the world a better place with a career in science.
Advance knowledge, communicate progress, and contribute to a healthier planet with a career rooted in the social sciences.
Discover your career by looking at the world from different perspectives through the humanities.
Realize a better tomorrow through problem solving and mining data that can change lives.
CAS prepares you to succeed through internships, study abroad, student-guided research projects, and service activities.
With 109 majors, 52 minors, and 24 departments, the only thing missing is you. College of Arts and Sciences.
Connect.
Achieve. Succeed.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
This spring, I invite you to shop in downtown Stillwater. Downtown Stillwater is home to locally owned shops, boutiques, eateries, and dependable professionals that you can trust. Find the perfect gift for your graduate, have a delicious meal with mom, or just stop in to enjoy great spring savings. By creating a demand for local goods and services, you can ensure a place for the local businesses that help give our community character and keep it unique. On behalf of Downtown Stillwater, thank you for shopping local.
What is arts and sciences?
We aren't all about the arts.
We like to think of ourselves as explorers.
From exploring the human mind
to discerning the building blocks of the universe.
We don't just read books.
We don't just sit in the classroom.
And we don't just solve problems.
We seek to give everyone a voice.
In a variety of approaches.
We tackle the big issues.
By understanding complex social structures.
And even understand the small ones.
We take passions to new heights.
But stay grounded.
We tell stories.
Of the past. Of the present.
And work to predict the future.
We like to think with a little preparation. Some dirt under the fingernails.
And some self-analysis. You can do anything.
With nearly 100 degree plans to choose from.
Where will your arts and science degree take you?
Connect, achieve, succeed.
Hello, and welcome back to the sports segment of the Daily O. I'm Austin Pohl. Spring break is right upon us, signaling the final action of OSU winter sports. OSU's victory against West Virginia was the final sporting event at GIA this season. With that being said, let's check the top 5 moments that happened at the home court of the Cowboys this season. Checking in at number 5 is Isaac Likely's putback against TCU. The Cowboys are coming off an 8-game losing streak with a depleted squad. Up by 4 with 30 seconds remaining, Likely jumped over 2 TCU defenders to convert the putback to seal OSU's much-needed victory. Number 4. After 3 seasons off the bench, Latasha Jones finally got a starting role for the OSU women's basketball team. Jones announced her starting role with a statement, grabbing a career-high 21 rebounds in the home opener against UC Riverside, which ties the record for the most rebounds in a game by a Cowgirl. Number 3. You're rejected. Your name was a huge spark for the OSU basketball team this season. The freshman had 8 blocks in the victory against West Virginia, the most by a freshman, and leads the conference in blocks with 75. Number 2, Tanner Taylor, a former manager who walked on the men's basketball team. He had his 15 minutes of fame. In the final moments of an OSU blowout loss against Texas Tech, Taylor makes a 3-pointer that got everyone buzzing. Now number 1, OSU wrestling needed a spark in the most anticipated duel of the season against Iowa, and boy did they have it. Nick Piccinini sends GIA into an oblivion when he pinned the defending national champion Spencer Lee in the opening bout of the night. Piccinini and the rest of the Oklahoma State wrestling team are headed to the national championship in Pittsburgh from March 21st to 24th. The tournament bracket was also released on Wednesday. The Cowboys have 9 wrestlers qualified for the tournament. 6 of them are in the top 10 seeds and 2 number 1 seeds. Dadden Fix at number 33 and Derek White at 285 are 2 Cowboys top seeds. Piccinini is seated at number 2 at 125, and the remaining OSU representatives at the NCAA championships include Kay Brock, Cade Gefeller, Joe Smith, Jacoby Smith, Dakota Gear, and Preston Weigel. A Utah Jazz fan started a GoFundMe account that will benefit the Human Rights Campaign Foundation after the event that took place on Monday. Earlier this week, Utah Jazz fan Shane Keisel was permanently banned from the Utah Jazz games and all other events at the arena after his derogatory comment towards Russell Westbrook. Westbrook responded, and the NBA fined Westbrook $25,000 for cussing and threatening Keisel. A different fan started the GoFundMe for the goal to raise $25,000, the same amount that NBA fined Russell Westbrook. The GoFundMe campaign reads, "Jazz fans are not bigots. Jazz fans are not racist. Jazz fans are loyal to the Utah Jazz. We are not a bunch of rednecks, racists, bigots. Most of us are dads, moms, friends, hard workers, kind-hearted, do right by each other, help our fellow man, good neighbors, and welcome to all." In one day, over 600 people donated, and the total is already over $13,000. And the NFL free agency dominates the storyline. It is understandable you might have missed a lot of things happen around the sports world this week. Don't worry, here's a little quick refresher on what is going on. Where were you when the Cleveland Browns went 1-31 in 2 years? Apparently, when the Odell Beckham Jr. trade was announced, this fan left his house and celebrated in public, causing a concerned neighbor and mother to call 911 on him.
911, what is your emergency?
Yes, ma'am. I'm calling because there's someone out in front of our house. We just drove home, and he's yelling and screaming and, like, flailing his arms.
A frantic 911 call to Shaker Heights Police Tuesday night.
And I don't want to get my kids out of the car yet because I don't know what's going on.
Tips for you sports fans out there, don't go too crazy in front of somebody else's house. What is the odds that you can have something returned after it got stolen 2 years ago? Well, Kobe Bryant caught a big break. Bryant's high school jersey was reportedly stolen 2 years ago. It was returned to him earlier this week, and the location of where the shirt was shipped, China. 28-year-old Chinese fan Lu Zi has returned Bryant's jersey after he bought it for $2,000, then finding out it was the stolen shirt. Ultimate Fighting champion star Conor McGregor was arrested and charged after police say he destroyed and stole a fan's phone. He apparently got angry after the fan tried taking photos of him. Police say McGregor slapped the phone out of his hand, stomped on it several times, and then walked away with it. The man says his phone is worth $1,000. McGregor was charged with strong armed robbery and criminal mischief. Also in Stillwater, there is something you might have missed. OSU held a pro day last Tuesday for Cowboys NFL hopefuls to impress in front of the scouts. The Ucali creative followed former quarterback Taylor Cornelius' action during the day.
I'm pretty confident, I'm very confident. That's the end goal, to keep going and keep moving forward. Overall, I thought I went well, always in things to improve on, but I thought the day went really good.
That's it for sports today. We're going to be right back after the break. I'm Austin Pohl.
What is arts and sciences?
We aren't all about the arts.
We like to think of ourselves as explorers.
From exploring the human mind
to discerning the building blocks of the universe.
We don't just read books.
We don't just sit in the classroom.
And we don't just solve problems.
We seek to give everyone a voice.
In a variety of approaches.
We tackle the big issues.
By understanding complex social structures.
And even understand the small ones.
We take passions to new heights.
But stay grounded.
We tell stories.
Of the past. Of the present.
And work to predict the future.
We like to think with a little preparation. Some dirt under the fingernails.
And some self-analysis. You can do anything.
With nearly 100 degree plans to choose from.
Where will your arts and science degree take you?
Connect, achieve, succeed.
Well, that's it for today here on the Daily O. Thanks for tuning in, and for myself, Austin, and our entire crew, we want to thank you as always for watching, and we hope you have a great spring break. But before we go, we want to leave you with one final story on how some students are celebrating today, International Women's Day.
What elements of like traditional style of women in your culture and your heritage do you find inspiring? Like, I know this is Oklahoma.
The hairstyles on my black side, 100%. They are 100% them, undeniably. They wear and do whatever they want, and they just like don't really care what other people have to say about them.
I find almost all of it inspiring because all of the beadwork is hand done, and that takes a lot of time and dedication, and there's also usually always a story behind each beadwork and each regalia, so each outfit.
I love our curly hair. I wore my hair natural just for this, so.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I think our hair is really cool. Sometimes it's too poofy, but yeah.
Cool. If you could go back in time to visit your 7-year-old self, what is the #1 piece of advice you would give to her?
I'd probably tell her to not damage her hair because it'll take forever to fix, and it's okay to look black. Like, it's actually cute.
I would say don't be ashamed. Yeah, because that was definitely the times where I was like, nope, I'm not, I'm white. I know I'm tan, but I'm white. It's just the sun, you know? But don't be ashamed, embrace it, and, you know, like, really, like, get to know your culture because it's really interesting and it's cool to know, like, where you come from and stuff.
It's okay to be different, to look different, and to think different. Be kind to yourself. I think that as even now I spend a lot of time just being too hard on myself, and I think that if someone had told me as a child to just like take it easy, I think I could have gotten a lot out of it.
I feel like there are two things I would say. Playing Cowboys and Indians isn't really a game. It's kind of racist. And you're not just a body, you're a mind too. So you don't have to just rely on your looks. You can rely on your brain and your smarts. And your heart. And your heart.
What is arts and sciences?
We aren't all about the arts.
We like to think of ourselves as explorers.
From exploring the human mind
to discerning the building blocks of the universe.
We don't just read books.
We don't just sit in the classroom.
And we don't just solve problems.
We seek to give everyone a voice.
In a variety of approaches.
We tackle the big issues.
by understanding complex social structures.
And even understand the small ones.
We take passions to new heights.
But stay grounded.
We tell stories
Of the past.
Of the present.
and work to predict the future.
We like to think with a little preparation. Some dirt under the fingernails.
And some self-analysis. You can do anything.
With nearly 100 degree plans to choose from.
Where will your arts and science degree take you?
Connect, achieve, succeed.